Good morning and welcome, Nikki. I'm going to make you co-host and then presenter.
Sounds good.
Oops.
Oh, there's an echo in the room.
All right, this is a moderator. I'm back in the meeting and it seems I was able to fix my audio. Good morning. This is the moderator. Welcome, Alicia Bird. Can we please have a mic test? So Alicia Bird. Oh, there you go. You're unmuted.
Yes. Can you hear
We
me
can
okay?
see. Yes, we can. Or do you have a camera that you can turn on?
Oh, yeah. Let me say it says start video. I'm used to Teams. Is that where, no, start the video. Where's the camera thing? Oh my God. Let me go
So
get my,
yes, it should be the button should be at the bottom middle of your screen and it says start video. That's
oh,
your
that's where it
camera.
was. Okay. I thought it
Yep.
would be something else. Okay. So I changed it to
You just click
just,
it and it'll turn green when it's on and then it's red with the slash through it when it's off.
let me make sure this is it. Well, I thought I turned it on.
Let's see.
Maybe not. Oh, can you see me now? Oh,
I
can you see
um
me? No.
It's not showing that you have a camera. So
Uh-oh.
maybe the device you're on doesn't have a camera.
Yeah, it does. Let me go get my IT person. I'll grab it real quick. Let me grab
Okay.
it. Okay.
All
I
right.
do have a camera. I can see myself, but you can't see me? Okay.
No.
This way. Yeah, yeah, that's what I hit.
Gonna click it here. Nice. Yeah, I can see you.
Where? Wait a minute.
See?
Can you see me? I can see myself, but can you see me, Nikki?
We can see you now. Thank you.
Okay. So will you just stay on until you're ready for us? Is that it? I'll mute
That's
myself.
correct. And Alicia, will you be the one progressing your slides, or did you want us to do that for you?
I don't have slides. Nicole has slides and
Okay.
Jen has does not have slides. I can tell her I'm just going to be speaking.
Okay.
And do you have her PowerPoint?
We do. Yep, we
Okay,
do.
let me message her and see what she wants to do.
Okay.
So
That
you can
sounds
see
good.
me okay? All right.
Yes.
Should
Yes,
I just
thank you.
mute myself back or you want to
Yes,
do that?
feel free to just mute yourself and turn off your camera until we're ready for you.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Good morning. This is a moderator. Welcome, Jim Cleghorn. Would you like to do a quick mic test? So this is the moderator, and Jim Cleghorn, if you could please unmute yourself and we can do a mic test. All right, we'll come back to you. Good morning and welcome, Nicole Lavanos. Can you please unmute yourself and we can do a mic test? All right, Jim, it looks like you're unmuted. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Perfect, and we can hear you as well. And then did you have a camera that you wanted to turn on and test?
Yeah, let's see.
Yep, perfect. We can see you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So feel free to
Can you
just
hear me now?
yes, Nicole.
Sorry.
Yes, we can hear and see you. And I
Wonderful.
wanted to ask you for your PowerPoint, did you want to progress the slides yourself or just tell us when to progress them?
I'm happy to progress them if that works for you.
Okay, let me quickly switch to your PowerPoint and I'll give you the controls just for a quick. Oh, it's not letting me switch to it. Okay, I will upload it again. Oh, I see. Just a moment. All right, hold on just a moment. All right. All right, so Nicole, I've made you the presenter. So you can progress the slides by just clicking at the caret. Yeah, you got it. You're a pro. All right.
Got
Thank you.
it.
All right, we're set.
All right, wonderful.
Uh-huh. And so feel free to just mute yourself and turn off your camera until we're ready for you.
Okay, and then Tricia, just an FYI, my colleague Ashley Shelton is going to be joining as well.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So if you see her in the waiting room.
To go ahead and promote her. All
Thank
right,
you.
and oh, you said her name was it
Ashley
Ashley?
Shelton.
Okay, I see her already, so. All right, good morning and welcome, Ashley Shelton. If you're able to hear us, can you please unmute and there you go.
Hello, thank you for, oh, there's my camera. Hi.
Hi, wonderful. Thank you. We can see and hear you. Perfect. So just go ahead and you can mute yourself and turn off your camera until we get to your agenda item.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, this is a moderator. It is not quite 10, but I'm going to start the recording. You'll hear a brief announcement followed by silence. This is the moderator. We're ready to go on the WebEx unless we need Nellie Nellie Nieblis.
Let's go ahead and start. Yes.
Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. and I'd like to welcome everyone to the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians, May 15, 2025 board meeting. This meeting is taking place at the Department of Consumer Affairs Hearing Room, located at 1625 North Market Boulevard, Sacramento, California. My name is Carol Mountain. I'm the board president. I would like to call this meeting to order at 10:04 a.m. First, some housekeeping information on how this meeting will be conducted. This meeting is being held in person and virtually via WebEx. We will now do an alphabetical roll call to establish quorum. Board members, when your name is called, please introduce yourself and give a brief description of your role on the board. Alita Carpenter.
Yes, I'm here, public member, gubernatorial appointee.
John Durking.
Good morning, John Deerking, public member. I'm a Senate Rules Committee appointee.
Gloria Gregoria Guzman.
Governor appointee, a licensed vocational nurse, board member.
Abraham Hill. Not here yet. Ken Maxey.
Here, Assembly Speaker appointee.
Leslie Moore.
Leslie Moore, governor appointee.
Nellie Niebles.
She'll be online.
She'll be online. All right. Rashima Sansan.
Rashima Swanson, president, public member, governor appointee.
And I'm Carol Mountain. Based on the roll call, we have a quorum. So we will move to agenda item number 2, introduction of board staff. Ms. Yamaguchi.
Well, actually, if I could ask the chair's indulgence, I would like to share some really great news that we got earlier this week. The governor has appointed Mr. John Russell to serve in our second LVN seat. John, just give a wave. So we invited him to come despite the fact that, obviously we can't function without this much paperwork to really allow him to sit and vote. But I asked him to come today and tomorrow, meet the people, audit the class, things like that. So a warm welcome from staff and I, and we'll get you introduced to all the rest of the board members as soon as we possibly can. So without that, after that, of course, I'm going to go through the staff very, very quickly. Back there is our AEO, Mark Ito, our enforcement chief, Antoinette Wood. We got a whole passel of the NECs, and Nicholas Gonzalez, our education analyst, Mr. Jeff Weiler, and Miss Nikki Brady from our admin team, and council.
Hello, Ileana Butu, board's legal counsel.
Please.
I would like to call out a very special member of the audience we have here today. He happens to be a former president of the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psych Techs, Mr. Todd DeBronstein. He has the distinction, if I may, Mr. DeBronstein, of serving on this board for around 13 years. Thank you. Welcome.
And thank you for recognizing him. Thank you. Great. All right. I believe we are ready to move on to agenda item 3, presentation by the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. The board will now receive a presentation by Ms. Alicia Bird, Ms. Nicole Lavonis, and Mr. Jim Kleghorn, representing the National Council of State Boards of Nursing on the topics of engagement with NCSBN, government affairs update, and substance use disorder resources. Are you ready to start?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, well, you can see me. Let's see, can you see me okay? Hear me and see me? Okay.
Yes.
So I think you're displaying, good morning, you're displaying Nicole's slide first. I don't have any slides, I just have a handout. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. I want to say, first of all, good morning and thank you can you still hear me okay? I just want to make sure. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I'm always worried about that. Good morning to Ms. Elaine Yamaguchi, the executive officer, and also to the board members and to President Mountain. Thank you for allowing us to have some time on your agenda this morning. Also presenting with me, as Dr. Mountain mentioned, is Jim Cleghorn and Nicole Lavanos. We always welcome any opportunity to meet and connect with our members, whether it's virtual or whether we're able to attend one of your in-person meetings. When Ms. Yamaguchi and I talked some time back about topics that would be helpful or relevant to present to the board that may provide you with information and opportunities on how you can engage with us, knowing that you're very busy with your commitment to your board governance work and also to your day-to-day jobs, something that you can access in terms of resources that may not require a lot of time and certainly something that you would be interested in. So I'm only going to talk for about 10 minutes because I want to be cognizant of the time to allow sufficient time for Nicole and Jim as well. I'll just highlight a few resources. There was a handout on knowledge networks that you may have with the slide that I sent in. Anyway, I want to begin with Passport. Passport is the identity management system. It is basically where you can obtain a member password account. And why do you need a member password account? So you can access some of our resources. Many of our resources, at least 80%, don't require password access, but there are those that do. And when it comes to meetings and some of the work that is being done, it may require a password. So if you don't have one, please talk to Ms. Yamaguchi or feel free to email me and we can get you set up because you want to have it, and don't forget to sign in at least every 90 days. Now through Passport, the management membership database information, you can access many of our applications. ICRS, which is the International Center for Regulatory Scholarship for Leadership Development. There are e-learning courses there that can help you grow your knowledge, skills, and network and support your leadership development. There's a Journal of Nursing Regulation. And there's also, as I just mentioned in the handout, the knowledge networks. And that's really what I want to focus on for a few minutes, because the knowledge networks is how you can connect with us through a series of participating on networking calls on policy, education, and maybe APRN. It could be IT ops, whatever you have an interest in. The calls happen, there's a schedule, either every other month or once a quarter. You can look at the agenda, you can submit a topic, you can talk to other members, you can talk to members who are also on a practical nurse board, VN or PN board. We sometimes have external speakers, and it's just a great opportunity for networking, information sharing. It doesn't require a lot of your time, but you can really learn a lot from others if you have that interest. And again, it's very easy to access, and you don't have to participate just because you join a knowledge network group. It's just a great way to interact with other members and to also learn what's happening out there in the regulatory world and also at NCSBN. On the handout on the second page, there's information how you can, number 2, engage with us as far as signing up for publication and newsletters. If you go to ncsbn.org, our homepage, and scroll down to the bottom, you will see text that says stay current with NCSBN and subscribe to the mailing list. No password is required for this. You can sign up to receive updates on news, Leader to Leader, a publication for educators. There's the In Focus, which is our newsletter, and a number of other resources that you could just click, get it through your email, and it's just another way to stay engaged with us and find out what's going on the national level, around the country, international, as well as within our membership. One of the ways that we often talked about traditionally for members to engage with us was through our committee volunteer program. Our board meeting met recently, just a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of the signal for the beginning of the solicitation for new committee members for vacancies that we have. Now, we don't have as many committees as we used to have many years ago, but we do have a number. And Dr. Mountain, you currently finishing your second year, I believe, on the exam committee. How has that experience been for you?
I can't recommend highly enough being involved in things that are going on at NCSBN. how much I've learned and how much I appreciate hearing from other people around the country. It's very enlightening. It's been a great experience for me.
Oh, great. I didn't pay you to say that. Sincerely, that's how you feel. And most of our members, it's been their entrance into being involved with us on the national level. And I'm glad that experience has been really, really good for you. And you're one of the premier committees because it's the NCLEX committee. That communication will be sent out early next week, and there are some openings for the various committees. I will say that the committee that's a lot of fun and it's a great opportunity and very easy to get engaged with us is the awards committee. It's open to all member categories, and we meet twice a year, and the meetings are 1 day and a half. You're also funded to attend the annual mid-year meeting, and it's a lot of fun, and you actually learn a lot about what the members are doing, their accomplishments in nursing regulation, just by reading the nominations. So it's a lot of fun. That information is going out, and the board will appoint those members in July for the October 1st new fiscal year. So just think about it. If you have questions about committee participation and just have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Also, I want to mention that our annual meeting participation is always nice. We do fund, if you're able to travel, we do have funding for members to attend. The annual meeting will be held in Chicago, August 13th through the 15th. The Nurse Licensure Compact meeting is held the day before on Tuesday. We all know that representation is important, so we look forward to having 2 delegates from California be represented this year at annual meeting. Governors and Bylaws Committee was convened about a year and a half ago, and the NCSBN is looking at its governance structure. Some information is definitely forthcoming. There's nothing going for a vote in August, but that information will be shared with the members, so you have an opportunity to weigh in and offer feedback on what your thoughts are, what your feelings about the governance structure. It's very important that we hear from you. So that's another reason why you need to have a password, because information is sent out to our members and you don't want to miss anything, especially with this information about the governance work and the bylaws. On the website at any given day, if you go to the homepage, ncsbn.org, and you go to events, you can see whatever conferences have launched, what meetings are happening, whether it's Knowledge Network calls, whether it's committee meetings happening on any given day. And you may see something as you peruse the calendar that may interest you and thought, I'd like to join that. I'd like to participate in that. What is the time requirement? There's always a little information provided on the webpage, but if you ever have any questions, reach out to me. We can do a quick huddle, 10, 15 minutes. If you have a little bit more time, we can take 30 minutes and talk in more detail about some of the opportunities available to you, some of the resources available to you. What do you have an interest in? Maybe you're thinking about something you have an interest in. You weren't aware that we offer something, and I can connect you with those resources. So feel free to really reach out and let me know what you have an interest in. Now, I want to stop before I go any further and see if you have any questions about anything. Any questions? I can't tell if you do. I will say that next week, the information for the recommendation for the annual meeting for the delegates for a vote will be sent out to the membership. I can't really go into that information right now because it hasn't been released yet, but these will be the items that the delegates will vote on in August. There will also be a slate of the candidates who's running for NCSBN office and also who is running to serve in the Leadership Succession Committee. So that will come out next week. If you have any questions when you see that and would like to discuss it in more detail, feel free to reach out to me. Ms. Yamaguchi, can you think of anything else that you would like for me to speak to or answer any questions?
Thanks. Actually, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I would echo yours and Dr. Mountain's encouragement to the board members. There's just a wealth of information, and even if you're just kind of goofy about data like I am, there's so much information on that site that is just fascinating. I mean, looking at the state of the professions and looking at what other states are doing. I've wasted some time there. Oh, excuse me, invested some time there. So, but like I said, I will encourage you all to check that out.
Okay, well, if there are no other questions or comments, I will turn it over this time to, I think, Nicole Lavanos.
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Mountain, members of the board. Thank you for having us all here today, and thank you for having me here today. As I've been introduced already, but my name is Nicole Lavanos, and I'm the Director of Government Affairs. I have the pleasure of leading NCSBN's Government Affairs Department here at NCSBN. I am here today and excited to talk to you about our Government Affairs Department, the projects that we work on and resources that we have, and how we can hopefully partner with you and work together and help assist you with any needs that you have. So just a quick overview of our Government Affairs Department. I serve as director of the department, and under the department we have our State Affairs Office and our Federal Affairs Office. Our State Affairs Office is located in Chicago, where NCSBN is headquartered, and we have an associate, Tom Harrington, who works with us on our state affairs issues. And then in the Federal Affairs Office, which is located in DC, we have Ashley Shelton, who is our Director of Federal and External Affairs. And on the call with us today is Ashley Shelton. Ashley, if you want to turn on your camera and just wave hello so everyone can see you. Ashley's very first day at NCSBN was yesterday. So this is day 2 for Ashley. And we were really thrilled that she would be able to join us for her very first member engagement experience. So in addition to leading our Federal Affairs Office, I am really excited that Ashley is joining our team and can be here to listen and also learn with you all about some of the items that NCSBN works on. So thank you, Ashley, for being on, and thank you to the board for allowing her to be on with us today. Let me, I lost the slides. All right, and so I want to just talk about some of the key legislative issues that the Government Affairs Office is on the lookout for. We are always wanting to identify new trends or patterns happening at the state and federal level, and track those issues so that members are aware of what's going on. I tried to categorize these into 2 buckets, our core issues and trending, although as you can imagine, there's a lot of overlap. For example, if we look at occupational licensing, that's something that we're always going to be on the lookout for. And then a trend within that may be universal licensure recognition, which we are seeing bills that are looking to create uniform licensure recognition across states become more and more popular. So of course they blend into different categories, but some of the core issues that we are always focused on and always on the alert for when we are tracking legislation is anything impacting the Board of Nursing, whether it be the structure or the regulatory processes. We're looking for occupational licensure trends and always looking out for where there may be legislation or policy proposed that is looking to create a one-size-fits-all policy that would impact professions across the board, from accountants to nurses to hair braiders, et cetera. And we're looking at how those policies would impact nursing regulation. We also track interstate compacts. As you are well aware, NCSBN is involved with the Nurse Licensure Compact as well as the Advanced Practice Registered Nurse, or APRN Compact. And we're also keeping an eye out for what other professions are creating interstate compacts, watching as they come online, seeing how they operate, et cetera. So that's something that we're always on the lookout for and have information on to share with you should you need it. As well as another core issue is APRN regulation and practice. You may know, but NCSBN was an author of the consensus model, which is the national model for APRN regulation and practice. And so we are always aware of what states are doing to make laws more uniform, or hopefully moving towards uniformity for advanced practice registered nurses, how they're licensed, educated, and regulated as well. And then some of those trending issues that I mentioned, these are things that we're seeing, especially in the last couple of sessions, pop up, whether it be reproductive health. Of course, with the Dobbs decision, many states were taking action, and some of that action included either protections or disciplinary action for providers who provide reproductive health care services. So that was something that we were seeing and monitoring states, especially at the state level, state legislation coming through. Assistive personnel, whether that be home health aides, medication aides, certified nurse aides, those are trends that we're also viewing. Of course, there's new provider types being created seemingly every day within the different states. And so we're always tracking that and seeing what their regulatory structure looks like, what services and procedures they are performing or tasks they're performing, and just keeping an eye on also who their regulators are, right? And so whether or not they're being placed under the Board of Nursing or whether they're, going to be regulated by the Department of Public Health. And so we're always keeping an eye for that trend as well. Workforce, always a big topic. Maybe that should go under core issues, but it is always present, but looking for trends within workforce, such as loan forgiveness, preceptor assistance. So we're keeping a track of what states are doing there as well. Telehealth, I think enough said, everybody is figuring out and passing legislation, trying to set telehealth policy, what types of services can be provided and by whom. Can they be only electronic, or must there be a in-person visit first prior to establishing that patient-provider relationship? So we're tracking those bills as they come through as well. And then nursing program standards. And so a big role, obviously, of boards of nursing is to approve education programs. And so looking for legislation that's out there and keeping an eye on some legislation that may impact that nursing program approval process. So turning now to our Federal Affairs Office. Federal Affairs Office engages primarily in relationship building and also in direct engagement. So on the relationship building side, what we are looking to do within the Federal Affairs Office is really look to engage with congresspersons, members of the administration and agencies for them to know who we are, and more importantly, for them to also be able to come to us when there is an issue of concern or question they may have. So we like to do a lot of introductions, let them know who we are, let them know the importance of boards of nursing and what their functions are at the state level, especially, if it's a congressperson within their jurisdiction, have them get to know their board of nursing from their state, and really start to build the understanding of the importance of nursing regulation and the important work that boards do. We also, that's also the case with external stakeholders, building those relationships so that we can help them and assist them in, in their needs and questions, and help them understand regulation better, but then also be able to connect you with them when there's an issue that may come up and they're a stakeholder involved in that issue. We also at the federal level are involved in direct engagement. So NCSBN supports several pieces of legislation and also weighs in on legislation that we have concerns with. The same is true for agency rulemaking at the federal level. An example of this would be NCSBN's support for full practice authority for advanced practice registered nurses within the VA system. NCSBN participated along the comment and review process and informed the VHA and had many meetings as they came to that ultimate policy decision in 2016. Just to share some examples from 2024 of our direct engagement, this includes NCSBN providing comment and meeting with CMS regarding the CMS minimum staffing rules, including, and of importance to this group, raising the concern within our comment letter that the staffing rules did not reference the roles of LVNs, one that we know is very critical to the provision of care and of care in long-term care settings. And so that was something that NCSBN was able to weigh in on. And of course, today with the new administration, there may be new opportunities to look at this rule. And certainly it has been raised in many nomination and confirmation hearings to date. Another example of direct engagement is on the SHARE Act. The SHARE Act looks to create a federal technical fix to FBI statutes that will help with the provision of criminal background checks for purposes of interstate compacts. So NCSBN is involved in that. that bill was reintroduced in this new Congress, and so we are currently actively lobbying for that legislation. Then lastly, another example is the ICANN Act, which would remove CMS requirements for CRNAs, nurse anesthetists, to be supervised, along with other equity and parity provisions for APRNs providing care to Medicare and Medicaid patients. So those are just some examples of federal affairs activities and how you may interact with us on federal issues. Next, I'll turn to state affairs. At the state level, within our state affairs office, a significant portion of our time is spent advocating for NCSBN's 3 state-level campaigns: the Nurse Licensure Compact, the APRN Compact, and our Nursing America campaign. Just real quick, the Nurse Licensure Compact, which we'll dive into in a second, but is a compact for RNs and LPNs and VNs. The APRN Compact would be an interstate licensure compact for advanced practice registered nurses. And our Nursing America campaign is a campaign that was created in 2017, and its goal is to align states with the APRN consensus model. So that one is tied directly in to the APRN Compact campaign. So relevant to this group, because it involves vocational nurses, is the Nurse Licensure Compact. So I'm sure many of you are aware, but for just some basics, the compact enables RNs and LPNs who hold a compact license to practice in their home state, as well as all 43 jurisdictions which are in the Nurse Licensure Compact, without having to obtain and maintain multiple licenses. This is the mutual recognition model for interstate compacts, which essentially works similar to your driver's license, where you hold one license in your primary state of residence, and with that one license, you can drive into other states without having to obtain multiple driver's licenses. And that is similar to how the Nurse Licensure Compact works. And of course, the Nurse Licensure Compact is enacted into state law. That is how a state becomes a participant of the compact. And so to date, there are 43 jurisdictions that are in it. So this year is actually an important year for the Nurse Licensure Compact. They are celebrating their 25th anniversary of operations. As I mentioned, there are 43 jurisdictions to date. You can see from this map that all the states in dark blue, purple, and light blue, so basically anyone that is not gray on this map, it has enacted the Nurse Licensure Compact and are in various stages of implementation. Either they are fully operational, those would be in dark blue, they're partially implemented, such as Pennsylvania, or they have enacted the legislation, particularly recently, such as Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and are awaiting implementation. In 2024, there were 2 new jurisdictions to enact the Nurse Licensure Compact. That would be Connecticut and Massachusetts. And to date, in 2025, there are many jurisdictions, many of those gray jurisdictions there, that have active and pending legislation to join the Nurse Licensure Compact. California, to date, does not have active legislation to join the NLC. However, in the 2024 session, there was legislation introduced in California. So you may be asking, what does it mean to be a campaign state? Well, in addition to always being on the lookout for bills and monitoring legislation and helping answer stakeholder and lawmaker questions on a bill, when a state becomes an NCSBN campaign state, it basically means that we just get more involved in that jurisdiction. And so we hire lobbyists. So we have the hiring of local lobbyists in the state, and we manage those relationships. We work with coalitions either by joining an existing coalition or establishing a coalition if one doesn't exist. And within that coalition, really looking to diversify the issue, especially if on an issue like the interstate compacts, like the Nurse Licensure Compact, you'll see support from groups ranging from AARP to chambers of commerce to facilities, hospitals, nurses, et cetera. And so we really look to diversify the coalitions as we work in our campaign states to really highlight the breadth of the issue and to strengthen the support and the advocates for the issue as well. As part of our campaign states, we may also do some PR or communications activities that could include hiring and managing local PR firms, to supplement and complement the legislative strategy. We work with NCSBN Marketing, who does just such an excellent job with all things, but specifically in the government affairs side of things, being able to launch grassroots and ad campaigns. And then we also work with Reputation Partners, which is a firm NCSBN works with, to reach out to local media, make them aware of issue, pitch stories, editorials, op-eds, et cetera. Then we also have grassroots tools, such as Voter Voice. So if you were to visit nursecompact.com, for example, you would see that you are able to send a letter to your lawmaker urging support for the Nurse Licensure Compact. So it's a way for members of the public as well as members to engage on our issues as well. So now I'm going to quickly run through some member resources. And these are really ways that you can interact with us and that we can hopefully be of assistance to you when you have any questions or issues that may come up. So one of our projects, our robust project, is our legislative tracking program. And so what this consists of is a weekly update, and that weekly update is reporting to you all, to NCSBN's members, legislation that is of note. So legislation that impacts nursing regulation is in one of those sort of legislative trend areas or core issues that we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. And within that update, NCSBN staff on the backside reviews and tracks legislation and also summarizes legislation. So we create our own staff summaries for every bill that we track, because we're really looking within a bill that may be 30 pages long for really the issue that is going to impact nursing regulation, or that should be of import for boards of nursing to know. And so we track that legislation and then follow it through several stages of the legislative process, both when it's introduced, then again, if it's passed its original house and is moving on to a second chamber, when it's to the governor, so now it's past both chambers, and then finally upon enactment. And so you'll see sometimes those summaries change as the bill may be amended during the process, other items be added to it or taken away. And so we'll make sure that those updates and those summaries are updated before they reach your inbox on Fridays. That's when our legislative update comes out. And so as Alicia mentioned, you can access the legislative update by signing up through Passport. It's a legislative update group, and that will get you added to those weekly emails. And then another way is that you see the legislative update and you note a bill, hey, that's interesting. There's a bill in Arizona dealing with workforce that I know that California is considering, looking into how we can strengthen our workforce. I want to know more about that bill. There's two ways you can do that. The easiest way is to reach out to me, reach out to our team, and we can help you and help find out more about that bill and provide you more information. Or you can do a deep dive yourself through iTrack. iTrack is a member resource where you can look at bills that are happening within your state. And let me move on to the next slide, where you can sort bills by the jurisdiction that they're in, by the topic area, or by their status. And you can view the information differently. You can look at maps and see who else has staff ratio legislation happening right now, or what is the status of the bill? How many bills on, we'll just use staff ratios as an example, how many staffing ratio bills have failed or are still active? You can look at those trends by their bill status. And then finally, you can do the deepest dive, which would be to click on the bill and actually see the full text there. So all of that is available to you as a member, so you can do your own research. I know that Elaine mentioned that she likes to dive around on the website and into NCSBN data and resources. This is another area to deep dive in that's available to you as members. Also, I know Alicia talked about knowledge networks. We have a policy knowledge network, and we hold quarterly calls. And right now, I just want to make you aware, we're in the middle of a series called the Public Policy Process Series. That series is really going step by step through the policy process. We want to educate members who may be novices in the policy world all the way through experts. And for those, we're hopefully reminding them of some of the core elements of the public policy process, from ideas and defining a problem all the way through enactment, implementation, and evaluation. We're in the middle of that process series, but luckily within our Hive, for the Policy Knowledge Network, you'd be able to access previous calls, previous PowerPoint presentations on the topics, and a whole host of resources that are available to you, whether it be tip sheets if you're going to be testifying, let's say, before a committee, or providing testimony in another scenario. We have tip sheets on how to provide both, how to create written testimony as well as provide verbal testimony. We also have a collection of the Journal of Nursing regulation policy perspectives, and so you can have quick access to those articles there as well. And generally on the call, we really try and present on and provide opportunities for members to present on topics of interest, regulation, public protection versus public interest, and also to develop skills of members and have members share, share their experiences, which will hopefully build skills of each other. So that is another really great resource and way to connect with us. And then last but not least, policy assistance. We are always here and available, whether you want us to review some language, bill language, or amendment review. Again, help you with testimony or developing resources, one-pagers, fact sheets, etc. If there's anything legislative facing, of course, we are here and able to provide guidance on how to best get information across to lawmakers. And then bill briefing. So bill briefing would be if you reach out to us and say, here's a bill of note in our jurisdiction or in another, I'd like to know more. We will get to work, we'll pull data from other states, we'll develop some talking points that we think may be relevant, whether you're supporting the bill or have some concerns with the bill and want to be able to communicate that effectively, and also just dig into some research and see where is this bill coming from, what other states are we seeing this bill in, and if it is passed in a state, how did that state go about implementing that legislation? So we can really do a deeper dive for you as well. Last but not least, we can help communicate and connect you with stakeholders. We are forever, and part of Ashley's role at the federal level will be to build relationships with external stakeholders. So we're always looking to create a larger network and also maintain and foster those relationships so that we can be of best assistance to you when you may need to get in contact with them or they may have questions that we can then direct for you. So with that, I will pause and I will open it up for any questions, but also that is my email address. So feel free to reach out to me at any time and I can connect you with our team as well, or who might be able to best assist you. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that great presentation. I do actually have a question, but I also have a comment. And the comment I want to make is I get those weekly updates, legislative updates. They are amazing, very helpful, and really gives you that quick snapshot of what's going on in our country and within nursing. And I really appreciate them. So plug for that.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, my question is, do we have any updates or thoughts about the Title IV regs where they were talking about minimum and maximum hours for LVN or RN programs?
So I do not have any update for you at this time, but I would love Dr. Mountain to connect you with Nancy Spector and then also to do some digging on our side to see if we have any recent updates. You're nodding your head. I assume that you have communicated with Nancy before, and she could be a really great resource on this, but certainly I will keep my eye out and provide you with any updates.
Thank you so much. And I can't say enough good things about Nancy Spector. So yeah.
Wonderful. All right, I will, I think, turn it over to Jim Cleghorn.
Good morning. Thank you so much for allowing us to have time on your agenda today. One thing that I was going to point out to you from Nicole's presentation, all of the pictures that you saw, all of the pictures of the different Capitol buildings throughout the country, those were all pictures that Nicole has taken on her travels throughout the U.S. doing the advocacy work. So quite the photographer there and lots of intriguing shots that she's captured. My name is Jim Cleghorn, and I have the opportunity to serve as the Deputy Chief Officer for Policy, Research, and Education at NCSBN. A couple of the things that fall under our division, the Government Affairs Department, the Journal of Nursing Regulation, our research team, the ICRS program that Alicia mentioned earlier. And I know y'all heard a lot from us today, so I'm not going to take long. I just wanted to tell you, provide some updates on two of the resources that I believe are probably of use to you and your board. The first one is the military health occupation analysis that we do. Several years ago, NCSBN produced an analysis of certain military health occupation curricula that would provide the boards of nursing with guidance just so you could understand which programs, which military programs were comparable to VN education programs in the U.S. Based on some of our recent conversations with the military, we understood that there were some things that had been modified on the military side. And so we've begun the process of updating those resources. So the first step was for us to take and update our basic LPN education template. So the guide, the standard by which we would measure the military curriculum against. So that's being done in conjunction with with some independent experts, and then along with several boards of nursing. I think they were also reaching out to maybe Roberta there on your staff. Once that process is complete, then we'll take the syllabi and the curricula for the military programs, compare it against that LPN template to determine comparability. It'll give us an opportunity to take it back to the military for them to review, comment, and provide any insight or information on the analysis. Previously, we had reviewed the basic medical technician corpsman program with the Navy and the Air Force, the Air Force BM TCP skill level 3 program, the Air Force independent duty medical technician, the Army healthcare specialist, the Army practical nurse program, and then the Air Force BM TCP skill level 5. And based on that initial analysis, we concluded that the Army LPN and the Air Force BM TCP skill level 5 were comparable to standard VN programs approved by boards of nursing. I'm hopeful that once we complete this analysis, that not only will we have an updated resource for boards of nursing to use, but it'll also create the possibility for us to develop some pathways for members of the military that are transitioning out, maybe pathways to pursue education and licensure opportunities, where we can help boards of nursing build bridge programs, working with the education programs that are regulated in that particular jurisdiction. I think there's a lot of things on the horizon that we can do just to ensure that we're bolstering the nursing workforce, and we're giving our military members opportunities that they can pursue careers outside of their service to our country. And so I'm very excited about that. You'll probably be hearing some more information on that project over the next couple of weeks and months. And then finally, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our substance use disorder resources. So we know that this probably takes up a significant portion of your time as a board, your staff's resources. And so we have produced a number of evidence-based resources over the years. We've started the process of reviewing all of that information, determining what gaps exist in what we already have versus what might be needed, and then determining what resources needed to be updated. We anticipate that the board of directors will appoint a committee to assist with this work probably in July of this year. And then the committee will begin working with staff to identify the resources, again, that are still useful and which ones need to be refreshed to provide the members with the most up-to-date information to support your work in the area of regulation. Again, I am so grateful for the opportunity to work with y'all today, to have to meet with you. From the very first day that Elaine came on staff as the EO, at that time I was the EO at the Georgia Board of Nursing, and she and I had the opportunity to meet and develop a friendship. Our entire team is grateful to y'all for opening your agenda to us today. If you have any questions for any of the three of us, we're certainly around for that. And we look forward to engaging with y'all and seeing how we can support you in your work going forward. Thank you again for your time today.
Thank you.
Yes, good morning. I did have a question because legislation is in my background. Do you coordinate with or contract with California's representing, it would be California firms, I guess, lobbying firms that represent the profession when you're working on legislation in the individual states?
Thank you so much for that question. So we only engage in our we only engage lobbying firms when we have a state that is our campaign state. So to date, California has not been a campaign state for NCSBN in any of our Nurse Licensure Compact, APRN Compact, or Nursing America campaigns. So we do not have a relationship with a lobbying firm in the state. What I will say is that we have, over the years, and I've been at NCSBN since 2016, we have had a lot of stakeholders reach out to us asking us questions, to our California stakeholders, nurse practitioners as a recent example when they were going through their independent practice legislation. And we work with those stakeholders. We try and be helpful, resources, connect them with individuals, but we have not to date had a lobbying presence in the state.
Thank you.
I had one question. I know the conference is coming up and you said Chicago. Being that we are Californians, I'm just wondering, is there any opportunity for you all to have a conference here in California in the future?
Of course. Can you hear me? Of course, there's an opportunity. We'd love to. I will say in 2023, the Executive Officer Summit, which is the annual meeting in June, was held in Newport Beach. Southern California was wonderful, lovely. So are you speaking about maybe one of our, and we recently had a discipline conference in the Sonoma Valley just in, I guess, late April, early May. So that's recently. Are you speaking of our mid-year and annual meetings?
Yeah, your bigger conferences so we can have some of that tax come to the state of California.
Okay, so I'll take that back to our meetings department and certainly put forth that request. We would love to come there.
Are there any further questions? Thank you so much, as always, very informative, and I'm just such a big supporter of NCSBN and everything you do, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you so very much for your time. Appreciate it. All right.
Ready to move on? Yeah. All right, at this time, we will move on to agenda item 4, recess. But before we go to lunch, before we take our recess, I believe that Ms. Butu will now provide guidance to the members about discussing business.
Hello, board members. This is just a friendly reminder that because we are the board members, there's a quorum here and there's more, basically there's more than 2 members. Any discussions that you guys have, please limit them to personal, family, not board related in any way. If you have any questions about whether you have a topic that you would like to talk with your peers about, and you're not sure if it may accidentally, inadvertently violate the Open Meeting Act, please let me know. I will be here with you guys during lunch. So thank you.
We just adjourn.
You just recess.
All right, we will adjourn this meeting at 10:52, and we will resume again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the business meeting. Thank you, everyone, for your participation.